Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a special edition of Dog Talk Sports. You're here with Pete Schmidt and
Ray Tremor.
Ray Tremor over here. He fresh off of some ink, showed off Ray. Hands are tatted up, looking badass with the Superman bandeau going on there. So Ray missed our top 32 quarterback countdown list. So we had to do.
I'm channeling my inner Max Crosby to dominate this episode.
I listen, when you're comparing yourself to Max Crosby and that's how you want to act, that's how you want to bring it. We're fierce right here, baby. Shout out already, sponsors off DHgate, rocking the military honors jersey right here, fresh off the press. Number 89, Barack Bowers, your AFC Rookie of the Year, offensive.
Already here first.
Boom, right there. Sprinkle it on right there. So before we get to the quarterbacks, I mean,
it's only fitting.
Hand on the heart. God bless America. Let's talk about some Olympic Games here.
How about those 126 total medals?
126. That's number one. Best in class right there. That's more than probably 30 to the next one, old China. Right there. Tied us in the old gold medals, but you know, we stay winning. What any big takeaways for you from these Olympic Games?
Yes. So I was tuned in as much as possible. I mean, I love the Olympics. The Summer Olympics is definitely my preferred Olympics because I prefer the wrestling, which wrestling is one of the, the pillars of the Olympics, and it does not get the shine that it deserves. There was even talk about removing it. Just if they ever remove the Olympic wrestling from the Olympics, then I'm done. I'm done forever. Have to touch on the breakdancing.
Oh, I knew it.
I mean, what are we doing? Thank God it's not in LA in 4 years. It was just confusing to watch. I mean, listen, credit to those people, right? Power to those. I mean, there's a couple Olympic events where I was like,
Australia. Shout out to the house mom from Australia. Just
Ray Gunn, baby, Ray Gunn.
Ray Gunn. Overnight sensation. Had no business being out there. The judges, I don't think they knew what to make of it. They were just kind of
0 points. Zero. Not a single point.
They were in awe that something like that happened. I mean, but that's what happens when you add something like breakdancing.
Yeah, I mean, the surfing was awesome. The skateboarding was a little was cool, but they don't. It's so specific of an event for the Olympics. It's weird to watch. I mean, the travesty that they made triathletes swim in that fucking river.
Oh my God. And then they were throwing up afterwards.
As a public servant who works in the most polluted section of the United States in the Northeast, and I have the Passaic River looming.
Yeah, that's the equivalent. That's having people swim through the Passaic or the Hudson River.
Yeah, we come out of that river and our skin is burnt. So, like, to have athletes swim in this competitively, I don't know. But, I mean, overall, yeah, the Olympics are awesome. I want to see baseball in the Olympics. If basketball can be in, why can't baseball?
Yeah, I mean,
basketball,
I'm calling for it. Judge is ready for it. But
yeah. The basketball was cool. I'd like to see the U.S. get challenged a little bit. I mean, it's like Lions playing with their
were we challenged?
Sudan. Listen, we were down to what was it, Serbia?
Yeah.
We were down bad. And then Steph Curry said, check this shit out.
Steph Curry said, let me whip it up for you and just
let me show you how the chef cooks.
At one point, the entire team was on him, and he just heaved it up and just wet buckets.
Devin
Wet.
Booker out there just being a team player. KD. I mean, I love KD. I will always be a KD loyalist.
I mean, yeah. And then women's basketball,
Untouchable. I mean, come on. It's not even fair.
untouchable. Shout out U.S. women's soccer, bringing the heat.
Awesome. Just
And
absolutely awesome.
gymnastics, we're bringing the fire.
The goat.
Go Simone Biles right there. Katie Ledecky doing her thing, just swimming like a fish.
It's goat watch, man. That's why the Olympics are so great because you could turn on the TV and just watch some of the greatest of all time, shattering records, like just
People in the frame and just waiting for them to finish.
That was the craziest thing. Like she literally was in the TV screen by herself.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out. I mean, next year, or in 4 years, Los Angeles. What a shit show that's going to be.
That is going to shut the West Coast of the United States down. Like traffic is already terrible there. Can you imagine with the Olympics in the middle of the summer?
And can we shout out Tom Cruise and his melt away face that if you held a match up to it, it would just melt away. But that man,
he's still wearing a Mission Impossible mask.
He's still in the movie.
He's still in. He never turns it off.
That was actually part of the movie. We just don't know it.
Yeah, Tom Cruise is Ethan Hunt.
Ethan Hunt is Tom Cruise. But yeah, U.S. Olympics in LA, it'll be pretty cool.
Yeah, it's gonna
be great. I think definitely breakdancing.
Beat it. Just
how you keep it moving. Shout out beach volleyball. Now that's it.
Nobody actually, I did see a couple complaints from a specific demographic of politics that were against beach volleyball. But hey, everybody else is cool with it.
We don't do that on this show.
No. Listen, I watch guys beach volleyball too. You want to put the mosquitoes? Go ahead. Doesn't affect me at all.
Bang.
Quality, baby.
However, I will say I did see this on the net and it piqued my interest that what if, like in the mail, like you got like a letter, like certified U.S. letter.
Like Hunger Games style. Yeah.
It's open it up and Ray Trimmer, congratulations. You just got drafted to the U.S. men's badminton team.
I mean, God bless. God bless. We ain't meddling, baby. Sorry, U.S. We ain't meddling.
Congratulations. You are doing water polo. Like,
yeah. I mean, maybe if I get drafted to like the shooting team, maybe.
Yeah. All right. That guy.
That's would be me. I'd be out there in sweatpants, like exactly how you see me now. A headband, a tank top, just
getting off.
Sending it.
Yeah. I think we actually probably should reserve the shooting for Dano since he's down in Texas. Shout out to the Danimal. Yeah, brother.
He's probably walking around
oh no, he's running around fucking
WBD.
He's running around HEB.
HEB.
His 6-shooter.
Yep.
And oh yeah.
Oh goodness.
All right. That's enough U.S. Olympic talk. We are the GOATs. God bless America.
God bless.
God bless. So it brings us up to the top 32 quarterback rankings of 2024. The season is upon us. First week of preseason already in the books.
Some big news today.
We got injuries already. fantasy hopes are being just dashed left and right. Possible trades, maybe not. Holdouts, it's all going. I mean, right now, big rookie news: JJ McCarthy.
I had to make. I listen. My list is updated at to the minute. To the minute, we are updated on the rankings here.
See, this is why you gotta re-up these things.
Re-up them.
JJ McCarthy. We'll get into it, but torn meniscus.
Speaking of, I'm gonna take a quick left turn here for 30 seconds. We're gonna put a Dog Talk Sports poll question out here for the masses.
All right.
Because speaking of fantasy football and some drama related to leagues you and I are involved in today, I want to know. I want to know what the rest of the country that listens to this feels about this. If you're in a keeper league, right, and we're going to put a poll on our social medias, so answer appropriately. We appreciate your feedback. If you're in a keeper league and you have a free agent that you picked up and you keep him,
waiver wire gem.
Waiver wire gem.
Heart and soul of your team, and next year you want to keep him.
A la CJ Stroud.
What's the value?
Or a Puka Nacua in other leagues, right? That gem that you just ripped up, and you know what? He might have won you your league. But now I want to know, is he the ADP? Is he a certain round pick? Or, option C, your last pick? Just want to know.
Let us know, folks, because there's some debate about it. I mean, I feel a certain type of way. You should be rewarded for that fine.
And you and I are in complete lockstep for that.
So there's, I guess, when people can't find the good value in the picks, they gotta
shitty commissioners
punish those that do.
Yeah, shitty commissioners. Looking at you, Brian Palmieri. Looking at you.
Pew! All right. With that being said,
sorry, tangent.
With that being said, I mean, yeah, training started. We got preseason games going. Season is around the corner. I feel it right now. That opening season parlay, which I will share in the later episodes before the season starts. That first parlay, that Thursday night, same game tutty. It's almost here, folks. Almost here. But with that being said, let's get Raymond's take on the top 32 quarterback rankings. I'll chime in with mine because mine were somewhat controversial. A lot of people thought that I may have been talking out of my head. And listen, I love it. Bring it. So we'll start with the AFC East. How about that? We'll start with the AFC East, and let's go. We'll start with Dano's Jets. Jets. Aaron Rodgers.
I have Mr. Aaron Rodgers as my number 8 ranked quarterback.
Number 8. Man,
listen, Aaron's Aaron, right? We didn't get what we deserved. The country didn't get what they deserved last year. We were robbed on September 11th. Again, tragedy struck. We were robbed. I wanted to redo it.
I talk about this every time. Man, him running through the fucking tunnel with that flag, it's got to be the greatest 30 seconds in Jets sports history. Like, such a feeling and a vibe. Like, I bought in. I was a Jet. I wanted Aaron Rodgers to take the Jets to the playoffs.
All the way. I wanted Super Bowl for the Jets. I was texting every one of my Jet fan friends, like, this is it. This is your year.
3 plays later, you're sending out texts. I'm sending out texts. Ooh, don't look good.
Sorry.
It's over. It's over, Johnny. I had Aaron Rodgers at 6 because Aaron is still Aaron.
Man. He's still Aaron. if I mean, listen, I expect what I expect out of him this year, right? Um, I will bring up the Devontae Adams thing. I don't. I see both sides. I see a lot of controversy on that. Does it make sense? Yeah, I mean, what can the Jet if the Jets really want to make a push for it this year and they can get Devontae? How do you get Garrett Wilson and Devontae on the sides?
Listen. Poof, poof.
Whew.
I'm not saying it doesn't make sense. I'm saying the Raiders are already committed to him. They're already paying him $40 million.
Agree.
They're not
We're not letting
trading.
him go. No.
Not
To get him
trading.
to go, he needs to basically be sitting out saying, I'm not going to wear the black and silver anymore, no matter what happens. Take all my money. I'm not going to play for your team anymore. I think that's the only scenario where he goes.
But he's not saying that.
He's not. He's playing.
He's
He
bought.
knows.
He's listen right there in the SIG. Ill intent, violence, physicality, pain. AOC.
And go. And listen, let's be real too. The Aaron Rodgers time clock is ticking, and the expiration date isn't as far off as everyone thinks. So why would you leave a lucrative contract in a team that is at the beginning of a rebuild? We'll be honest, like it's you got a rough sledding ahead, but I mean, maybe because you can see, maybe I would like to go chase a chip with the Jets at the trade deadline. Listen, if the Jets are like undefeated at the trade deadline and the Raiders are out of it,
No,
maybe we talk about it. Other than that, I don't even think it's a thought.
have to give up a first round pick for him, and they're not. That's not going to happen.
Fact.
So
Look at the wide receiver market right now. You have a top wide receiver just dangling out there in the free market, and no one's really sniffing at it because he's a diva. Brandon Ayuk.
oh no, well he's like 30 seconds away from inking up an extension with the Niners. They are pretty close on terms. They do have an offer on the table that they're thinking about pulling the trigger with Pittsburgh, but I mean, if you could keep Brandon Ayuk,
I would
keep you keep him.
Yeah.
All right, let's go down on the AFC East. The Miami Dolphins.
The Miami Dolphins. All right. This one is a controversial one for me because it is well documented on this podcast. I do not like Tua. I don't.
A lot of Tua hate coming over there from the RT3 camp. But so I had him again in my top 10 at number 9 this year. I'm pretty sure I had him at 10 last year, but he was in the top 10 and I got a lot of heat, no believers. And then he just started yoking them out to Tyreek Cheetah. So,
yeah. I mean, when you have the receiving core he does, and the year he had where he proved to me that he isn't made of silk, I had to turn around, eat a little crow, put some respect on that man's name. I got Mr. Tua Tagovailoa at number 10.
All right, cracking the top 10. I think you may be the only other one besides me that put the respect onto his name.
I mean, he just proved it. He airs it out. He's got two top receivers in Waddle and Tyreek Hill. Waddle had a shit year last year, and Tua was numbers up. I mean, when you have
before Tyreek got hurt, on pace for 2,000 yards.
Should have been the MVP. Would have been the MVP. It's just
Tua bulked up. He's accurate as fuck.
Yeah, he's protecting himself a little bit. I still don't love him. I still am hesitant. That's why he's sitting in the bubble spot at 10. He almost made number 11. It was a battle. But after the amount of shade I put on him last year, I gave him a little credit.
A little notch up.
Said, I'm sorry. Put you in the top 10.
All right. Fair enough. So moving on from the Dolphins, got the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
Allen.
Where'd you have Josh?
I have Josh in my top 10 at number 10. and I was just cast out of the podcast because I had him so low.
Yeah.
People were shocked that I didn't have him in my top 5. And my reasoning was, bro turns the ball over a fucking ton. And I understand that he has to play hero ball in Buffalo, and he's throwing all the touchdowns. He's running for touchdowns, but he's a turnover machine. And coming into this year, he's got no weapons right now. Like, you got that rookie that is playing comedian. Like, you don't know what that kid's gonna be.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I agree with everything you're saying here, and that's why for me, he is my number 7 quarterback. And
okay.
it was a tough decision between 7 and 8 because I have Aaron at 8, and I do think that Aaron Rodgers is the better quarterback, but based upon recent history, injuries, everything like that, like Josh Allen does stay healthy, and I give him the credit for that. But he had a terrible year last year, and in Josh Allen terms, he had a terrible year. I'm not saying he had a terrible year.
I mean, it's
But
good. It's good stats, like 4,300 yards, 29 touchdowns, a 92 rating.
that's not a terrible year for a quarterback. But when you look at Josh Allen and what you expect,
10 interceptions is a lot.
yeah, he like you said, his ball security is diminished. He's had a couple rough years with a lot of drama in Buffalo, and Buffalo as a whole has just been an undulating team of up and down, up and down. And now it looks like
There's an arrow on them. It's trending down. That Super Bowl window that they had 2 years ago
is very small.
I closed it, and I'm locking it.
Yeah, I agree.
Ain't nothing. Marshawn said it best. Ain't nothing good in Buffalo. And right now, you got that. It's that meme where you got the Ferrari parked outside of the shed.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
You got a nice shiny car out front, but the foundation it's ain't there.
So I mean, with that, I'm sorry. He's top 10, but
he's top 10. But if we were to do a post, in 6 months from now when the season's over, I wouldn't be surprised if he's lower and out of our top 10s. I won't be surprised.
Boom. I love you, man. That's why Dano and Zach,
this is why we have rogue episodes like this.
Yeah.
The rogue town.
And last but not least, the AFC East, ours, everybody's New England Patriots.
Yeah, I mean, this is tough. So I have Drake May as the current gonna start quarterback because he's the number 3, right? And he's my 31st ranked quarterback.
Okay.
From everything I'm seeing, it should be Joe Milton. It should be Joe Milton.
Listen,
dude has a cannon.
My list right here. I had him at 30, but I have Brissett, May, and then Milton. Milton's looks like the ready guy.
Yeah, I mean, this is truly like if any camp has a quarterback battle, this is it. This is the one. I mean, it is wild. And Drake May does not look ready to play. It's Jacoby's Jacoby, but I'm no matter what, whoever they roll out there, they're going to be my 31st ranked quarterback. I just don't believe in New England right now.
Again, a team with 0 weapons, especially when you're rolling out a rookie quarterback, and you'll see when we get to a few other people on my list, like that affects you, especially as a rookie and you have no weapons. Yeah. Like as a rookie, you want to build your confidence. You want to build.
At least Caleb has certified weapons he's throwing to. Like whoever starts in New England, your only real talent is what fucking they released Juju. They released Juju because he's so bad. But Ramondre Stevenson is your guy, like, and he's your check down running back. So good luck.
Yeah, I say a prayer for good old Drake May, but Joe Milton, man, if he can make that happen, that would be great. Um, so let's go to we'll shift over to the East now. We'll go NFC East, your territory. Let's jump right off the bat.
All right.
New York Football Giants. Let's go. Where do you have the new? Wait, hang on. This is a tale of two beards here, because there's Danny Jones who's spaced out, but then you have Dan Jones with that beard. He's taking your daughter out, and he's not calling her back. That's Dan Jones right there.
Listen, a famous movie once told us, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. But in the case of the New York Football Giants, you do know what you're going to get. You're going to get a fucking turd who does not belong to be a starting quarterback in the NFC, in the NFL, right? This guy, the show is up, right? I have been a Danny Dimes hater from the start. I hate the pick. I was all in on
Let me get corn out right now for this one.
You can. This is candy corn worthy. I was all in on them getting a quarterback. I was on the JJ McCarthy train, so thank God they didn't. Jaden Daniels, we saw in Hard Knocks, they were all in on Jaden Daniels, and the machine was working, but stuff doesn't pan out. I'm not a believer in Danny Jones. I think this year is a gap year to get us to next year with a foundation of a new offensive line. Eric Gray is going to be the running back of the future. Malik Neighbors looks to be a dog. There's a lot of pieces that are coming up, right? The defense should be good. I mean, everything is in place to not be a bad team, but they're going to be a bad team because when your quarterback is trash, you're just trash overall. Like, there's no hope. So that's why Danny Dimes to me is my lowest rated non-rookie quarterback. I'm sorry, second lowest rated non-rookie quarterback, and he's sitting at number 27.
Bang! 27. I had Danny Jones at 26. So me and you with the mind melt right there. Just bad. Bad.
He shows flashes with his speed, but I think that's going to be gone now with the injuries, piled up.
It's coming to ACL.
His accuracy is dog shit. I pray he looks at old Grandpa Eli and looks at some of his tapes and just sits in the pocket if there is a pocket this year for him. Other than that, let's get to next year. The Giants, it's this year is just whatever.
So Zach was not as high on Danny Jones either. Dano was the one putting up.
Because you know why? He's not in the Northeast anymore. He moved down to Texas, and he's got that big old fresh air opening up, and he's getting those Texas rain going. He's not surrounded in the snow.
There on the front porch smoking that cob pipe.
Yeah.
Just thinking long and deep about the Northeast, and man, that Dan Jones that they got up there, rooting son of a bitch.
Yeah, turn on the New York media for an hour and listen to the New York media talk about Dan Jones. Everything you need to hear.
Keep the beard, but beard gives him an edge, I feel like.
Polish a turd.
When I did this, I may have bumped them up a little bit.
Polish a turd all you want, it's still a turd.
You know what you do? You double flush that son of a bitch.
Exactly. You make sure that sucker's going down.
All right. So he was at 26 for me. You had him at 27. Let's go on to the team that drafted the guy the Giants were trying to trade up for.
Yeah.
Let's go to the Washington Commanders.
So this one is interesting, right? Like, when it comes to our quarterback rankings that we do every year, I never rank rookies high. History shows, you can go back and look at all of our episodes. I am a rookie hater. I will never.
Big rookie bias from you, Dan.
Yeah.
And
I just listen. I'm not a believer, right? You show me the list of rookie quarterbacks that have successfully came out, had dominant first years, and then sustained their careers. The list is this big. It's very tiny. I don't believe in rookies, right? Um, I have Jaden at 29, but just like we talked about with Josh Allen with the arrow pointing down, I I have a little asterisk on that 29 with Jaden because I do believe he's going to be the CJ Stroud of this year. And at the end of the year, this dude is going to have a lot of potential. He might be a top 15 quarterback. The way he looks, and again, limited, viewer, what we're seeing is preseason. It's not real football yet. But I mean, he's making some incredible throws. He's got, from what we even saw in the Hard Knocks, on the Giants Hard Knocks, he's got poise, and I like him a lot as a personality. I do think Jaden has the highest ceiling to rise out of all the rookie quarterbacks. So that is a 29 with a asterisk.
wow, all right, all right. I had him a step up above Danny Jones. I had him at 25 because of the potential factor that you just talked about rookies that break out and they have the high ceiling and could be like someone like Cam Newton his rookie year.
Yeah.
He impressed. Lamar Jackson's rookie year impressed. So I feel like Jaden Daniels. I mean, you have Scary Terry down there. They added Eckler. Just
the corpse of Austin Eckler.
Oh my god!
Shout out.
Not forget that memorable soundbite. Yeah, the corpse of Austin Eckler is in fact in Landover, Maryland right now.
He's haunting the former FedEx field.
Oh my god, poop factory. But yeah, I think he has a high ceiling. Then that brings us to, let's go with the good old Philadelphia Eagles. Let's fly, Eagles, fly. Because I was ridiculed for my
Where do you have him? Where do you have him?
Jalen Hurts. He was like top 5 for me last year. Fucking plummeted. Biggest faller, number 14 on my list. Number 14.
Well, and we do have a number in common because Jalen Hurts is my number 4.
Oh, all right. See, I wrote the Super Bowl bias of him where he just led that Eagles team to almost damn near victory.
Yeah.
It was impressive. But I mean, strip that all down from me. Outside of him having the entire offensive line up his asshole like a puppet, shoving him into the end zone from 1 yard out, it falls on me a little bit. I don't think he didn't show great leadership, and I don't know. It just
I feel the opposite. I mean, I think the reason I have him so high is because I do think he's a valuable leader. He has a history of winning, man. He has a championship pedigree. He's been to a Super Bowl, and there's not a lot of quarterbacks on this list that have been there. So, yeah, recency bias and everything like that. And I don't think he's missed the playoff yet. Every year he's in the league, I think he's been to the playoffs. Don't quote me on that. I didn't look that stat up, not quoted or anything, but yeah, I believe in Jalen Hurts. I think the offensive line of Philly has a lot to do with that, but we'll see. But he's high on the list, man. I believe in him. Jalen number 4.
I mean, my thing with him this year was his turnovers went up. He threw a lot more interceptions than he has.
Yeah.
I feel like when you force him to be like a passing quarterback, I think that's where It,
Yeah, I think you need to make him more of a Lamar. You put him more of a Lamar, and I think he flourishes. I think the way the OC kind of, pushed the tush push on them and made him into that missile of just getting bullied down the middle, and I felt like a different mentality from that team, a different offense, and I think it really limited Jalen in this last year. I think you go into this year and you kind of open the playbook back up to him a little more. You give him more control to be that leader that he is, and I think you see the old Jalen come back and flash really.
that that's a good point. I would love to see that. If they can open up the playbook and he can make those calls to do check downs and
Yeah,
be the quarterback and the
let him
leader.
lead the team.
If he could do that and show success at that, I'll bring him back up. I'll bring him back
That's fair.
up. Then the other team in the NFC East. How about them Cowboys?
How about him? I mean, listen, you have one of the best receivers in the game. I got Dak at number 5. Madden loves Dak Prescott, right? I watch endless Madden Sims on Instagram and TikTok, and it's infuriating to see how much Madden loves Dak Prescott and the Cowboys. If it was up to Madden, the Cowboys would have won the past 25 Super Bowls. But I mean, the dude. Listen, the dude he's not bad, right? I think he's a good quarterback. I think his coaching fails him. I don't think he's necessarily a bad quarterback. I'm one of those guys where, yeah, I hope free agency fails him because listen, if that boy's in blue next year, I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it. Dak, come on up, brother, come on.
You're gonna have to fight me for him
Oh
because
yeah,
Dak in the silver and black.
Black. It just sounds right. It just feels
Oh my god! I tweet hashtag that right there. Dak in the silver and black.
Black and silver and black.
Oh man,
It
that's
just
just
feels.
throwing to Devontae. I bet Devontae would love to get
Who wouldn't? Right.
like
But yeah, I got Dak at number 5 only because when it comes down to him and Jalen's been to a Super Bowl. Dak has not. Like I said, I think the team and the coaching fails, and Jerry Jones fails him year in and year out. So I had to put Mr. Dak Prescott at number 5.
Dak. I had a step up above Jalen at 13, but I'm rethinking things right now and just the season that Dak had last year. I mean, it was an explosive season. I mean, CD Lamb had just a monster. It was a monster year. I am 13, but I'm thinking back on my list right now, and I think I have him too low. I think Dak should be
Kudos to you
probably
for admitting that. Kudos.
he probably should be in my top 10. But that's just it's an oversight on my part. But I'm already issuing the apology right now ahead of time. I apologize to Dak Prescott for leaving him out of my top 10, and I'm putting the respect on the name.
Giving
And
the man something to prove. I like it.
I hope to see you in Las Vegas next year.
My man.
All right, amen. So let's cruise on. Let's stay in the NFC, but let's shoot to the South. NFC South. I guess we just got to start with. I'm guessing this is your lowest ranked non-rookie starter because you caught yourself, and then I was like, I know he's not putting good old Bryce Young in those Carolina Panthers ahead of Daniel Jones.
No, I couldn't. I just couldn't do it. Yeah, you're spot on. Bryce Young is sitting at 28 for me. He looked like had bust written all over him last year. He looks lost. I mean, the team is doing nothing for him either. He has nothing down there. It's all bad news bears, and you sold out your future. There's no I see no future there. So good luck, Bryce. It's been nice. Enjoy the wave while it lasts. Maybe you'll be a backup in a few years, but yeah, you are number 28 on my list. And again, I will say there is rookies behind you because I will not rank a rookie in front of an active quarterback, but there's rookies behind you that will surpass you this year. So good luck.
I couldn't agree more. We just talked about this in the Drake May situation. When you don't have anything else surrounding your rookie quarterback, they will struggle, and they will struggle mightily. And I think Bryce Young is a prime example of a team that mortgaged their entire future to get the supposed guy. But when you don't have anyone around you, you can't be the guy.
Exactly.
So I I had Bryce Young as 29 on my list because rookies are not, they're either in a better off situation or I think they're just better than Bryce Young. So yeah, Bryce Young was at 29 on my list. And then let's go to Nola, baby.
I mean, shout
our
out.
boy. Shout out to our boy. Listen, right now, man, I miss him still.
I bet you do. I mean, listen, there is so much disrespect put on this man's name, as heard in this last episode. The disrespect put on this man's name, undeserved. The guy's a warrior, bro. Goes out there, beats
All right, yeah.
shit.
First of all, a lot of misinformation was being shot at about my boy turning the ball over. No, not a turnover machine.
Nope.
Also, let's talk about how they love to say that he missed a bunch of games.
Nope.
0. My man missed 0 games. Started every single game.
Beat to a pulp, trotted out there. Just a warrior.
Derek Carr. And for that, I put him smack dab at 20, right before the smush of quarterbacks.
Yeah. I have him sitting at 21.
All right, boom, right there. Listen, Derek Carr does not get the respect he deserves.
And listen, it's another situation, right? Who's he throwing to down there? You have Alvin Kamara as your weapon. Michael Thomas disappeared off the face of the earth.
Chris Olave couldn't figure out how to fucking run a route to save his life.
He's got Pam sprayed on his gloves. That just.
Yeah, I will say though, I mean, it seems like this follows him around. That
he does. I mean, listen, he deserves better.
For whatever reason, Derek Carr is a very polarizing quarterback in the league, and already people were talking about, oh, Spencer Rattler. We drafted the Rat Man, the Rattlesnake. No.
Spencer Rattler had his fame in the fucking stupid show, and he's gonna be nothing. So
yeah, if Spencer Rattler is gonna want to start, he's gonna have to take a handgun out and just shoot Derek Carr right in the throwing hand.
Not even that. You got to put him out because
Derek
Carr would just wrap it up and keep going
next week.
Yeah, he's going back in the game. He's plugging that ball. He's plugging it and he's going back out there and slinging it. Not good, but he's slinging it.
That's what I love about Derek Carr, because he's just a competitor and he continues to fight, and there's no counting that guy out.
No.
But
all right, we got next one.
Next to him, we got Tampa Bay, the Bucks.
The Bucks. So again, I got love for this dude, right? And I think what he did was, I'm gonna foreshadow here, middle of the road. He wasn't good, he wasn't bad. He did what he needed to do, used his weapons as he could. Not great, not bad. Smack dab in the middle, number 15.
Boom. Number 15. I had him at 15 as well. Bingo. Yahtzee. Baker Mayfield. I just love the fact that this was like the Baker redemption story,
When you
and
look
I
up
feel like
mediocre in the dictionary, Baker's
no, don't call him. He wasn't mediocre. He had a pretty all right. He had a better year than Deshaun Watson,
he
and
did.
I bet the Browns are like, wow, like Baker's success in going to the playoffs last year
I
was
love
like
it.
the biggest fuck you to Cleveland.
Exactly. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, when Baker has that swag about him, it's fun to watch.
When Baker's good, football's fun.
Yeah, so I agree with that. Right in the middle, 15. And then everyone's favorite. We got the ATL. We got the new edition. Fucking Captain Chains Kirko coming off of a brutal Achilles injury was dominating the league.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I hope
Stupid video game numbers. And then pop.
history shows us that what's going to happen this year isn't going to be friendly to all of us Captain Kirk lovers, right? Especially with ATL going out there and drafting Penix after paying Kirk. The whole thing is just bizarre. I got Kirk at 14. I believe in him. I wish I could put him higher, but that Achilles injury, it 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 drops you hard on my list, man. And
You had Rodgers at what, 6?
8.
8. All right. He
But
didn't even play a snap last
Kirk
year.
Cousins is
He played
not
3
Aaron
snaps.
Rodgers.
Kirk Cousins was annihilating the league last
Kirk
year.
Cousins is not Aaron Rodgers. And I will leave it at that.
I'm not. All right. All right. You were gonna. This is a retraction in the making right here.
It could
So
be. Listen,
we're gonna.
I won't
right.
be mad at it. If I'm issuing my apology toward a Kirk at the end of the year, I'm not mad at it. I'm happy with that.
Kirk went from the best probably wide receiver in football. He goes to a team with not a prolific wide receiver, but he has weapons around him.
Oh, he's got weapons now. You got
Got
beat. Use them.
Kyle Pitts. This is your chance.
Yeah.
All right, for those that have drafted Kyle Pitts every year and that he's just been like the bane of your existence, like this is the year. So much untapped potential.
Raise your hand if you've been hurt by Kyle Pitts in a fantasy year.
You've been victimized by Kyle Pitts. Please, in the comments, let's hear it. Because
are you ready to be hurt again?
Put the key in, twist it. It's time to unlock the magic that is Kyle Pitts. Bijan Robinson. He is going to get carries inside the 5-yard line this year. Kirk Cousins has so much around him. Drake London, big old white, just catching balls out there. Like, this is it.
This is it. This is your chance.
Kirk Cousins, I had in my top 10, number 8, because of the he had a massive start to the season. All right, so that's NFC South. Let's flip it over to the AFC South. Let's start with another shit-tacular team that gave my man the graveyard of wide receivers. Let's go to Tennessee.
Oh, the Mayo boy.
Mr. Mayonnaise, who now, did you see this?
I was going to say, shout out to his newest cologne.
God, the number 7 collection, Mayonnaise.
That was, I cried some tears watching that. That was good. So, way to embrace your shit situation and just capitalize lightning in a bottle while you can. But you, sir, Mr. Will Levis, you are number 25 on my list.
Boom. I believe that's another one right there. We have Yahtzeed on another pick right there. Yes, I am. I'm sorry. Actually, no, I lied. 26 I had him at.
Oh, we're right there. We're right there.
We're right there. Still, yeah, Will Levis, DeAndre Hopkins. Rip the ghost of what is it?
The corpse of
The
the
corpse of DeAndre Hopkins
It's
is now.
like Prince back in the day. Like this, DeAndre Hopkins is the wide receiver formerly known as DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, he should change his name to a symbol, just
Yeah,
in
that's
it,
the phase we're in.
the med symbol.
Yeah,
That's what right now he's done. Yeah. Will Levis, go mix some mayonnaise in your fucking coffee, you weirdo. Not for me. He showed a couple glimpses, but again, a quarterback with nothing around him.
no.
Let's go to another underperformer, in my opinion. Let's go to Jacksonville.
T-Law. I mean, listen, I am known to be a T-Law believer. I've been waiting for the resurgence of the once great Clemson quarterback champion. Uh, but again, he is now. I can't even put him in the dictionary next to Baker because he was supposed to be the second coming of like Peyton Manning, but he's anything but. He's not in bust category, but he's not. He's nothing. He's just in below mediocrity.
He's a
So
he's a guy.
yeah,
He is what I would say he's in the Alex Smith category. He's approaching that. He is the Sam Bradford, maybe a step up from Sam Bradford.
yeah, you got to give him a step up for Sam Bradford. I mean, Bradford just I was a known Bradford hater, but yeah, I can go. I can go with that first one. But yeah, I got T Law at number 18. He's middle of the pack for me. He's not terrible. He's not great. He definitely could slip by the end of the year. But yeah, because you got to start performing, you got to start doing something. I just don't think this is. I mean, again, he's another guy that the team has failed you.
I mean, but I just
Because everybody's going to compare. He had the corpse of Calvin Ridley last year, right? Who did what? He had one great game, game one, and then he did shit the rest of the year. And I think T Law has just he's just another guy that has had no weapons his entire career. He has Etienne, but even that like
he's
Danny
hurt.
Danny Dimes had Saquon, and what happened? Nothing. Just because you have a great running back doesn't mean you're a great quarterback and have great plays. So I think T Law is another guy where the team has failed to give him, the weapons he needs, and with that, he's just middle of the road. So yeah,
I feel like this is the year where like because he had that playoff win against San Diego where they just smoked them and came back. But I think like he needs to put it together where it's consistency, and that's where I think it lacks for T Law.
yeah.
I had him at 17, so right there, just in the middle of the road guy doing middle of the road things. We'll see. Now let's go to I think the biggest unknown with big high potential in the Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah.
AR-15.
So I like what I saw. But again, he's another guy. I mean, we talked about this endlessly last year. Health, 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 health. Can you stay healthy? And he proved that he couldn't last year. So I want to rank you higher. I think you have the talent set to be higher, but you're number 23 for me, Mr. Anthony Richardson.
Wow. See, I went off of like the glimpses that I saw of him. I think he only played in 4 games, but when he was on the field, showed a lot of promise. That team has a lot of potential. And I feel like, again, if you can't stay healthy, you can't be on the field. And if you're not on the field, you're not producing. So this is like the keys to the castle are there. Just keep it on the road.
Yeah.
I had Anthony Richardson right in the middle because of the potential factor. I had him at 16.
Yeah, I mean, just in my formula, the whole potential thing, it doesn't go as far as like your proven history. When you only have 4 games, it's hard to really bump you up that high. I mean, I got to keep you down there near rookie level because I just don't. There's not enough tape yet.
Fair. We didn't see nearly enough.
Should be 2-0 still.
Soto just homered again. So that brings me to he was my biggest riser, my shock of the year.
Yeah.
CJ Stroud putting that Ohio State jinx out the fucking window. I had CJ Stroud number 2 on my list because that boy balled out and only getting more weapons this year.
Joe Mixon
and from Buffalo.
Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, like that's only gonna help you.
Yeah.
He's young, he's fearless. He took a team that had no business. We said it all last year that they didn't know that they were supposed to lose games.
Yeah.
And he led them into the playoffs. I mean, a rookie in the playoffs against a tough Baltimore team. It's a tough matchup. But yeah, I had CJ Stroud number 2.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I wish I could put CJ Stroud as high as that. I'm not gonna fault you for that, but for me, again, like I talked about, my formula where I rank guys is based upon tape, right? I don't want to sit and put him at number 2 when all of a sudden he flames out this year. It was a flash in the pan, right? Sophomore slump is a real thing. I have him sitting at number 11, right outside my top 10, with the potential to break the top 10 if you show me more, right? You got to show me more. And it's not his fault that he's outside the top 10 to me. It's just, again, I don't put that what if, I don't weigh the what ifs as heavily as I do other things. So I got you at number 11, and I won't be surprised if you're a top 10 quarterback next year, but again, sophomore, you already broke the Ohio State mold. Cool, great. Break the sophomore slump, and now we're really talking.
In that league, we talked about finding the good keepers, and
hey, I kept him.
So, I mean, I said it on the podcast last week or 2 weeks ago. I'll say it again this week. Here's some financial advice, everybody. Take $25. Take it right now. Go over to your DraftKings, your FanDuels, your Caesars, your whatever you're betting with these days, your Bet365s. Go take $25 and smash that down on a CJ Stroud MVP. Thank me later. So, with that being said, let's move on over to an ice cold Burrow. Let's go over to the AFC North, and let's start with
CJ Stroud is the second best odds to win the MVP right now.
You're welcome. Probably behind Patrick Mahomes.
Yes.
Hammer it down, folks.
Plus 850.
There, boom. What is that? What's $25 get you, right?
$237.
There you go. Send me 37. Send me $37, everybody, and you keep the 200 for yourselves. How you doing? Keep it moving. AFC North. Let's talk about Slim Shady. Let's talk about Cody Burrows. Let's talk about Joe Shiesty showing up, showing out, and rolling in, just embracing the buzz cut, joining the blonde bros, and just rocking that icy right there. It's a beautiful whiteout right there. The whiteout with the blonde hair, whew, he won me over. I'll say this. He won me over rocking the Slim Shady Cody Rhodes
yeah.
The hairdo. I had him
business, man. He's saying it. He's saying it with his body language. He means fucking business, right? He's coming in there saying, "It's no distractions."
No.
Straight dog.
No. Healthy. Dog.
Do I need to say it?
Well, you don't have him at one.
You're right. I don't have him at 1.
You don't have him at one.
I don't.
But you got him at 2.
No.
Oh no.
No. Unfortunately, injury history does play a part.
All right.
But in the equation. But I mean, listen, I obviously am a dick rider for Joe Burrow. I believe in him. I want him to succeed. I'm wearing his colors, right? He's number 3 for me, right? He's the only guy that he brings it to Mahomes, who is the clear number 1 in everybody's list. He brings it, right? He's been to a Super Bowl. He's been there again. The team scares me, but he's one of those guys that overcomes that, right? When we talk about teams failing players, right? Burrow is a guy that overcomes that. Obviously, you got T this year. This is it. This is your last chance. Like, go out there. You have T and Jamar. Next year, people are going to start getting paid. So
talk about with Buffalo being closed. I'm gonna unlock it. I'll unlock it. I'll unlock the window and I'll crack it open a little bit.
Yeah,
it's open still.
Yeah, it's tough sledding, and you got a lot to prove this year. But I mean, listen, Joe Burrow is the stats are there. It's there. So yeah, he's my number 3.
I'm a believer. I had him at 4. So the injury history, he shouldn't have played those beginning games of the season. I think he was not healthy. And I think we were all talking about the chatter of him trying to justify that massive fat daddy dollar contract that they gave him. And probably wasn't the smartest decision, but I get it. He's a competitor. He wants to be out there for his team. But yeah, Joe Burrow, all the tools and the blonde hair this year. So definite consensus top 5 quarterback should be on everybody's list. If he's not, you're just hating.
Yep.
We're going down to Baltimore. Lamar, the reigning defense, 2-time MVP.
And that 2 is important, man. Listen, you're a 2-time MVP. You're number 2 on my list. It's the dude.
Wow.
The dude performs. I don't love to love Lamar. I don't, but you can't beat him
in the regular season.
In a regular season, yeah. I mean, when it comes to the playoffs, the dude, I don't know what happens. It just is like mind melding. But in the regular, he's an MVP, a 2-time MVP. That is a hard stat to measure up to.
Cheat code. 800 rushing yards. The dude is dynamic. He is the dynamic dog.
He's a game changer. And now you just gave him a fucking raging bull as a running back behind him. And
let's talk about that. Let's talk about the wrecking ball that Derrick Henry on a playoff team, on a Super Bowl ending team.
Good luck defending that. It's going to be
that option play inside the 5-yard line.
Can you imagine lining up as a linebacker and you have Derrick Henry and Lamar?
No, it's all right. You're either that is like the epitome of thunder and lightning.
Yeah.
You are either getting smashed by Derrick Henry or Lamar is pew, pew.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lamar Jackson in the regular season is a pretty
He's a problem.
Yeah, number 2 on your list. I love it. 2-time MVP. You get the honors right there. I think Dano also had him up there. I think he was number 2 on Dano's list too, possibly, or maybe it was Burrow. It was one of them. So let's take it to the Steel City.
So this one was a tough one for me because Russ was cooking last year, quietly cooking, just
He
stirring
was
it up.
simmering, we'll
Yeah,
say.
he was putting the heat back a little bit. Said, "All right, chef ain't done."
Yeah.
Um, but then they,
Denver Broncos, hot fire, hot garbage, trash bags.
yeah,
Sean
but then
Payton is not a mix with him. So
you get Justin Fields in the mix now, and it's just confusing. Um, I have Russ at 19. Uh, I believe
Ooh.
I believe he has a lot left to give, and by a lot, I mean like 2, 3 years maybe. Um, it's more. I give him the respect at 19 because I believe in the coach. I believe that they find a way to win. Pittsburgh does not quit. Pittsburgh does not go away. When you think Pittsburgh is the epitome of dog shit, they still finish 500. I
Mike
think
Tomlin,
Tomlin
we put this
he
every year.
just squeezes every ounce of football left in somebody and just finds a way. So
And
Rusty's number 19, and if it is Fields as a starter, I'm okay with putting him there too.
yeah, I had them interchangeable at 19 as well. And I brought up the scenario where if anybody can get what he needs to out of a quarterback, either in Rusty or Justin Field, Tomlin can do that. And I brought up, what if you ran them both? What if
You will see that. You will see plays this year where both of them are on the field.
like you can get away with that? Like I said, how
Fields is too dynamic to not.
back in Florida, you have had Tim Tebow and Chris Leak running the offense on the field at the same time. Justin Fields is an athlete where you can get away with that. And I think Tomlin can cook up stuff to
Listen,
make.
it was done in New Orleans the last few years. Taysom Hill. Now
Yeah,
all Pittsburgh did was find a better Taysom Hill.
yeah. Because
So
I think, I mean, Fields can be a starting quarterback on half the
most,
team in the league.
yeah, on a lot of rosters.
Yeah.
So
But yeah, I also boom 19 bingo. Deshaun Watson and the worst contract in NFL sports history, and the Cleveland.
so far. So far, because I think there's going to be another contract that's going to look way worse in a few years. But yeah, I got Deshaun at 22. Just a severe regression in a guy that at one time was in my top five of quarterbacks. The dude was dynamic, and then
He was
he,
touching buttholes. That's why.
yeah, you take his buttholes away and his massage parlors, and the Cleveland effect is real. Um, yeah, I don't believe in him anymore. 22.
I had him at 24 because I am a very non-believer. He's in the 20 smush of
Yeah,
quarterback.
yeah.
Um,
That for me, that third, the bottom. This is just not. It's not it.
call that the compactor, the smush we called it. Yeah, 24 for me, and that was being generous. I think like long gone are the days of we in Houston, he was top 5 for like a hot second. Like he was a dynamic player, tore the ACL, got caught up in the parlors, and who was he playing for? He's guaranteed money. Guaranteed. Um, so yeah, I had him at 24. Let's let's roll it over to the NFC West or no, I'm sorry, the NFC North. Um, this was an interesting group. We talked about them in the beginning of it. The rookie JJ McCarthy going down, torn meniscus, gonna get surgery. So now that brings in old Sam Darnold. kicking the tires on him. I personally had J.J. McCarthy or Sam Darnold as my 32 spot. Even with the best wide receiver in football, I don't know if that's enough to save any of those quarterbacks.
Yeah. I mean, for me, listen, like I said, I will never put a rookie over an active starter in the league. I can't. So JJ goes down today. I got to make a little tweak to my listing here and do some shuffling. Old Mono boy is still he's in the pit of misery, right? He's 26, 26, right above Danny Dimes. And he's only above Bryce and Danny Dimes because of Justin Jefferson.
Oh my God.
Honestly, like when it comes down to those three guys and how I feel about them, the only reason Sam Darnold comes out above those out of that pile of shit, the reason he's on the top of that pile is Jay Jetta.
You can't in your heart, you cannot believe that I'm calling him Dan now because he has the beard. Dan Jones is worse than Sam Darnold.
What do you mean? Do you see any sort of doubt in my mind?
You're a sick man.
Stone cold.
It's a shame what the New York Giants franchise has done to you.
Yes, it is. There's a good chance you see me at the Sunday night football game, Giants versus Bengals, in this.
They play on Sunday night.
And they're wearing their whites.
When is that game? I might have to be a part of that.
Listen, it might happen.
Oh, God. We call our sponsors up at DHgate and get some sick whiteout Burrow jerseys. Shout out DHgate again, firing it up with the official military uniform football jersey of the NFL. This is the Las Vegas Raiders and Brock Bowers. Shout out to DHgate. So with that being said, let's go to another rookie in the same division.
October 13th.
All right. We'll mark the calendars. Let's go to another rookie. The rookie, some would say, the highest rookie that I had on my board, the first overall pick, Mr. USC, Mr. Painted Fingernails, Mr. Tearing It Up in the preseason, Mr. I got weapons around me, Adunze, I got Keenan Allen, give me DeAndre Swift, bring the weapons. I had Caleb Williams' highest ceiling as the rookie. Well, actually, no. I think my highest ceiling is Jaden Daniels as a rookie. However, I think Caleb Williams has the best package around him, and I had him at 21.
So that's fair. I do think Caleb does have the best package around him. I also agree that I think Jaden has the best potential as a rookie. So for that's why they are lockstep with me. We all know how I feel about rookies. I have Caleb at 30.
Okay, so you had Daniels at 29. Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, I'm interested to see. Again, I don't know how the maturity is going to be, but he's got so much, so like the aura that's circling around him right
now. Chicago did it right. They put a team together that this kid can succeed, right? Not like the Will Levises and the Anthony Richards, right? And the Bryce Youngs. Like this dude has some. He's got Keenan Allen as his wide receiver too. Like, okay, yeah. You're not doing bad there. And then you have all that other shit you just mentioned. Like, you have some.
That's a triple stack of wide receivers that he has.
Yeah, you have some success at your fingertips there.
So, I going over to the new ownership of the Chicago Bears, Jordan Love in Green Bay. Probably the biggest surprise, I would say, outside of CJ Stroud last year,
Yeah.
I think we didn't know what we were going to get, and I mean, we talked about the Aaron Rodgers learning tree.
Yeah, the family tree. And because of that, I have Jordan Love at number 16 on my list, right? Again, you showed some potential. You showed that you can play the game. Cool. Show me more. Like I haven't seen enough yet. The sample is just enough to make me want more of it, but
All right,
not gonna
fair,
order it.
fair, fair.
It's a
I
Costco sample at this point. I'm not gonna buy it, but I'll go back around. I'll do a second little.
a second, Sam.
Yeah.
Hey, you mind if I try that off your plate right there?
Yeah.
Can I get a little nibble of that? I agree. Doesn't have like the greatest weapons. Christian Watson constantly hurt. Romeo Dobbs put together a solid season. You add Josh Jacobs this year. Yeah, I'm interested to see. I'm monitoring the situation, but I had Jordan Love at 12. Cracked the top 15 just with the showing that he had. But the GOAT of the NFC North, I issued the retraction in the last episode that I apologized and I put the respect on the man's name this year, Mr. Jared Goff. I had him inside my top 10 this year because of just the output that he did. And I mean, when you look like Ryan Gosling,
I was gonna say, have we ever seen Jared Goff and Ryan Gosling in the same place at the same time?
I can't say that I have. I'm pretty sure Jared Goff was in.
Barbie.
Yeah, I think he was. It could have been him. I mean, he's just a Ken. Beautiful man. Beautiful man. I think he was in Remember the Titans. Yeah,
Absolute liability in Remember the Titans.
He wasn't at quarterback and he's found his position. Ray, where do you have him?
I have Mr. Jared Goff, aka Ryan Gosling, at number 9.
All right. So in the
top
10. Did you? I don't. Where did you have him last year? Do you recall?
I think I had him right outside. I think I had him at like he was definitely my top 15. And for the exact same reasons why I feel this way now. I mean, you have one of the top receivers in the game in Amon-Ra St. Brown. Your head coach is a straight dog and is going to give you the ability.
Dog
Yeah.
drinking gasoline every
Yeah.
day.
That dude drinks testosterone when he wakes up in the morning.
Yeah.
So I believe in him. You know, the resurgence is there. Go get it. Show me more.
Yeah, I think getting traded to Detroit was like
Best thing that ever happened.
best thing that ever happened for me. I know a guy that's going to come up on our list won a Super Bowl that year, but
they sold out.
Yeah, fuck them picks. So let's go to that division then. Let's head on over to the NFC West. Let's start off with the Xbox playing Call of Duty fucking subscriber, the elite member. Let's start off with Kyler Murray.
So Kyler, I have at 17 this year. He came back and he did show a lot of potential. He did show a lot of that, like what he could be, right? I mean, the dude's a midget. He's
I believe last episode we called him a toddler with a load in his pants.
Yes.
Just running around with a diaper full of shit.
I mean, if it's ever been a year for him to really break out, this is it. You now have Weapon X, right? You have Marvin Harrison Jr., a proven gold ticket, like what do they call it? Like a stud, right? Like
he's a game changer.
Like a 5-star recruit. The dude he's it, right? He's not gonna be a bad wide receiver. So you got one now. What you do as a quarterback is up to you now. So I got you at 17. Let's see what you can do.
I had him right in the beginning of the smush at 22. I mean, missed the majority of last year, but when you add an X factor with the pedigree that Marvin Harrison Jr. has, it can only help you as a quarterback. I was made aware that there is a new Call of Duty coming out in October.
Dangerous.
So hammer it down early on him and then sell high before he starts hitting the sticks. He's probably got the pre-order right now. He's got that thumb callus, but yeah, I had him right in the beginning of the smush, and then they wrote him off, and he didn't write back. Geno Smith out in Seattle had the Renaissance year, and then kind of faded off last year. Where do you have him on your ranking?
Yeah, I am a known Geno disrespecter. He wraps up that second. I categorized it like this. I did top 10, 11 through 20, and then the rest. Geno finishes my second column. So he's number 20 for me.
Okay.
You have products out there that you're throwing the ball to. So you have no excuses, right? You have DK, Jackson Smith and Jigba, and Tyler Lockett. As a Giants fan, I would love that receiving core, right? You've had two okay years, not bad, right? What's next? What's next? Like, what's your next step?
I feel like with him, he's in that like Baker, Trevor Lawrence
Yeah,
range, but I don't feel like he has like that next step to complete.
exactly.
So I had him at 23 in the smush. I feel like he just gets lost in the shuffle. But yeah, weapons around him. Just it's kind of middle of the road. And then the guy that we talked about before, the Super Bowl winner in the trade for Jared Goff, the always consistent, just he's going to have a 4,000-yard year. He's going to give you 20 plus touchdowns, probably throw some interceptions, and just be a work.
Guaranteed to throw you a couple interceptions.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're going to get a 4-picker from him in at least one game.
Yeah, I got Stafford at 12, right? He is the king of consistency. He's consistent. Listen, he's won a Super Bowl. He's performed with less, right?
He's a Hall of Famer.
He's a Hall of Famer.
First ballot
hands down a Hall of Famer. He's consistent. He's been consistent his entire career, right?
Even on those years in Detroit.
Yeah. He just goes out there and does exactly what you expect him to. He's going to throw a couple picks, a pick or two a game. He's going to throw probably the same amount of touchdowns per game. He's not going to run the ball anymore, but he's going to put it where it needs to be and make his receivers go get it. Number 12.
Fair. I mean, I had him at 18, just in the middle. But I mean, you got a guy like he's throwing the Cooper Cup. Puka Nacua showed up. I mean, you're gonna get middle of the road. I feel like you're not gonna get that greatness that you once were, but he's not gonna stink up the joint. But yeah, the staph infection is a certified, bona fide first ballot Hall of Fame dog.
100%.
And then that brings the NFC champion San Francisco 49ers. And Mr. Irrelevant to Mr. Relevant. And I got just as much shock for like the shock that I brought with this pick, and then I fired off CJ Stroud at number 2. Brock Purdy for me, 3.
That's fair. I mean, listen, we're not far off, bro. You know, Mr. Irrelevant, you're not Mr. Irrelevant no more. You're Mr. right outside my top 5, sitting at number 6.
All right, boom.
Right?
That's
The dude wins.
wins, and he puts numbers up.
He's been to a Super Bowl, NFC champion twice.
No, because they blew his elbow out, and if he did blow his elbow out,
they would have won that game.
They would have been in that Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So I mean, and that's the thing. Even if he blows his elbow out, he comes back and has another good year.
Yeah. Haters are gonna hate on him because they're gonna say he's a Shanahan, he's a system guy, but
if the system works,
I'm not comparing him. I know I'm gonna get some shit for saying this. I'm not comparing him to him, but people said Tom Brady was a system quarterback too because he won fucking games.
But if the system works,
yeah, I mean, I feel like
how to be a system quarterback with jewelry.
I mean, he has no jewelry right now, but I mean, he's not.
He's got no jewelry, but his resume ain't bad.
No, and the 49ers are not far off. He has weapons around him. I'm pretty sure. What was the count last year? We would have cashed out like $1.5 million if we would have just rolled over CMC's anytime tuds.
I will be doing that this year.
Yeah, gotta dog that up. But yeah, automatic. Puts up numbers and wins. It's hard to argue against that, in my opinion. I had him at 3. If I wasn't I'm very high on CJ Stroud. Yeah. Otherwise, Brock Purdy would be my number 2. Could do. I got a lot of hate. People didn't even have him in the top 10.
I mean, winners win, and the dude's a winner.
Boom. All right, and let's wrap it up with the AFC West. Let's start with another rookie, Bo Nix.
So Bo Nix, this is my number 32. This is my bottom of the barrel. And listen, I am a Bo Nix guy.
Stop. You're the only Bo Nix guy.
I am the only one. If the Giants had drafted Bo Nix, not in the first. If they took him later, I would have been okay with it. There is our draft episodes where I talked about the Giants trading back into the first to go get Bo.
Bo knows.
Right? Bo knows. Listen here, you pancake eating son of a bitch. I want my picks back.
Wait a minute. So
I got
Bo Nix wasn't a rookie. You would have him higher than Dan Jones.
Maybe.
My God.
We'll see. We'll see next year. We will see next year.
I have Bo Nix at 31. Just because I have no faith in JJ McCarthy and I had him at 32, but
fair.
Denver's a hot trash show.
It's just doesn't look good.
They got nobody. I mean, Bo Nix looked good in the preseason. He
looks solid.
Firing off a couple good ones against third string defenses. But
hey, it's putting tape together, man.
Put tape together, and Max Crosby is gonna put that white in the dirt.
Yeah. I mean, good luck when you meet Mad Max. It's not gonna be pretty.
I'm looking forward to that. And that being said, my Las Vegas Raiders.
So this one hurt me because I have you, one of my best friends in the world, who I believe You are my Raider. Like when I need Raider information, you're the guy. I think Gardner Minshew is going to win the job. They paid money to do it.
Everybody on this podcast has the Minshew mania because you don't pay your guy $15 million to be on the bench.
But here's where I'm with you. I think Minshew starts, but I think his leash, a hook is right there. You know, I think one bad half and he's out.
It's AOC's job to lose right now, and I think they're so close that I think AOC is going to get the nod because Devontae's vouched for him. Pierce knows AOC is familiar with the team, how it's run. I think you pay $15 million for Minshew to be a backup and to push AOC to push himself.
That's fair.
To be the starter. That's my opinion. I had that combo at 27.
I have Gardner Minshew at 24 for me.
Okay.
And again, that is above the rookies, above that three-piece pile of shit. And that's right where for me, my smush comes in.
I have it in the pile of shit at the back end of the smush at 27 because again, AOC didn't get a full run last year, his rookie year. He had to deal with that fucking scumbag of Josh McDaniels as a head coach.
Yeah.
A lot of turmoil. I don't know. I feel like this is kind of like takes me back to Carr when Carr was a rookie and they had Matt Schaub as the quarterback and they were like Schaub, baby. Right? And Carr beat the brakes off of him in preseason. They were like, Carr's the guy. And then took it from there. So we'll see. I mean, I want to believe in AOC. Minshew, if he's my quarterback, he's my quarterback. But I mean,
yeah, that's fair.
Dak. Hey, Dak. Now to another kind of a question mark for me. I had him outside the top 10, Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
On paper, the dude is just everything you want in a quarterback. Just firearm, throws it around, scores points. Can't win when it matters the most, but I don't know if it's him or if it's just the team in general. I feel like he has the best opportunity now with the coach that they have this is like, he's a higher end Trevor Lawrence for me.
Actually, I gotta agree with everything you're saying here. I think you're spitting fire and you're spot on.
Yeah, I had him as 11. I don't know.
I'm at 13.
So right there, yeah. Justin Herbert, he's got the Liz Frank injury right now. So I don't know what that's gonna do.
That's gonna haunt him. It's gonna devastate him this year.
If
when your feet are fucked up, man, and you can't plant and do all that shit that a quarterback needs to do.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, but he's put together a string of seasons where he's just been dominant offensively. But yeah, he's on the cusp of top 10. I think I had him inside the top 10 last year, but he was like a low end because I'm just a hater because he can't win.
That's fair.
And then the consensus, the number one.
Yeah, I mean,
Kermit the Frog.
Yeah, there's not much to discuss with this. I mean, Mahomes is clear away the number one. Dude's a freak. He's the best quarterback on the planet when he wants to be. Stat-wise, he had an off year last year, but he still was.
He's throwing to fucking Kadarius Toney and Travis Kelce while he was on tour with Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I mean it's Pat Mahomes' world. We're just watching with the rest.
It's Pat Mahomes' world, and we're just fucking living in it. Juan Soto, I just want to interject real quick. Juan Soto just hit his third home run of the game, his first ever career 3 home run game. Perfect transition, I think.
Yeah,
Top
we'll be quick on this one because we ranted.
Football season's coming. We're ready for it. However, we are in the dog days now. The dog days of the baseball season. And
for the first time in my life, not only as an adult, as a child, I have not seen a winning Yankee game live this year. Every game I've attended to this year, and I've been to 6 or 7, has been a loss. The pinstripes are in the closet, not hung up yet. We're not put away yet, but it ain't looking good.
This is the weirdest team for me because we have, if not the best record in the league, like we're in all of baseball.
We're in the mix.
2-3 teams, but it feels like
a
struggle.
It feels like they're so bad.
I talk to Steph about this all the time. I don't know how to feel because I don't like, are we bad? Or like, are we just so spoiled that we're just used to, like, we should be just destroying teams.
Yeah.
9 runs in a game, 10 hits, like blanking teams that, like, because we have these eeky games where we're losing by close games or blowing a lead, or like, are we bad? And like, our podcast chat makes me believe that there's a lot of negativity in that chat. And Zach, I'm looking at you. I am looking at you, young buck.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we're just a little more accustomed to pain, but
yeah, I mean, Juan Soto just hit 3 home runs in a game. Like, this dude is the second best player on the planet next to his counterpart in center field, Aaron Judge. I think, like, ink the check, please. If, for the love of God, if we don't re-sign him, I don't know if I can live in the pinstripes.
It's bleak. It's very bleak. Without a future without Juan Soto is a bleak one, man.
I feel like this is one of those things where Aaron Judge has to just, yeah, pick up the phone and just lay it out there. Listen, I'm Aaron Judge. I am the best player in the world. You're wasting my time and my talent. Give me my, like, they are like best buds on the field.
Yeah.
Like, that fucking handshake.
They're the Bash Brothers, bro.
How cold is that handshake? The fucking
ice, dude.
Boom. The Kings of New York. Like, dogs. Yeah, I don't know. But I feel like the only way we keep Soto, if we're not going to pay $700 million for him, is we have to win the World Series.
I agree 100%. Like, there's only one road where you keep him, and that's that.
Man, why does it have to be like this? Why does it have to be like this?
I wish I knew, bro.
If the Yankees don't re-sign Soto, I don't know. Might have to, I don't know. I can't even think about it. But
We'll wait for the rest of the gang to get back on next
yeah,
week. So
yeah, we'll
back
yeah, I need the hatred from the young buck
in. It's cute.
across looking at
We're
me.
too we're too lockstep tonight. We're actually calm. We're not fired up enough. Like we need to.
I need him canceling the entire season and just raining hellfire down. I need to hear Tex down there with his fucking wheat straw in his mouth,
Yeah.
just in turmoil. But before we sign off, any big predictions for the upcoming NFL season do you see? Any bold takes, Cotton? Especially any quarterback takes.
Bold.
Bold move.
Aaron Rodgers has an MVP season. Trevor Lawrence leads his team to the playoffs. We see three rookies have success.
Okay.
That's my bold. I'm going to leave it at that.
All right.
And by three rookies in the playoffs.
I've already said CJ Stroud MVP. Book it right now. Aaron Rodgers, you want to make some more money? Lock him in. He's probably the favorite already. Comeback player of the year. Lock that down. I think Josh Allen is going to lead the league in turnovers this year. I feel like the slide is coming, and that locked window is not helping him.
Shade.
And one more, Deshaun Watson, in that guaranteed $167 million contract, he gets benched.
Wow. Okay.
Gets benched. Let's go with that. Yeah, that's what I feel like. And you already know it. AOC starting quarterback for the Las Vegas Raiders. That being said, shout out to our sponsors, DHgate, always repping. We got the Aaron Judge edition of Prime Hydration, shout out. And then we brought it back. It's that season, baby. It's already candy corn season right there. Ray's favorite candy. He knows it. Number one in everyone's hearts. Like and subscribe. I'll put the poll up. You answer to it. Fantasy football keepers. What are you feeling? What are you feeling? Should they be 10 picks, last picks, average draft position? Fire it off. Let us know. Ray wants to shout some hate at Brian Palmieri. So bring that. Post your top 10. Do we miss anything? Am I crazy for thinking CJ Stroud at number 2? Brock Purdy in the top 5, number 3? Come on. Leave us some comments. Like, subscribe. 1,000 subscribers. Ray will get the tube. Get the tube. Hair looks thick right now. What are you doing, kid? Got plugs in?
I don't got plugs in.
Maybe Ray's got the tube already and he hasn't shared. Looks beautiful right now. That mane of blonde hair. But if that Superman bando comes down a little further front, could be seeing a lot of forehead. 1,000 subscribers, get the tube or the nip. You heard it first. It is Dirty Dog Talk Sports, and we'll see you later. Peace. Hoorah.